The news website.
It's snap. It was well before any party in the Johnson case.
I want you to. They have cover of the Supreme Court. So if you could just have it ready. It's over here, Supreme Court, and go down to 40. Go down to 40, 43. 43 seconds. By the way, are we on here? Yeah. Have you got your cruise list? I haven't talked to no. Okay. Oh, that's loud. Hey. Very hot town. Wow. What? Matt Radio, WNBS, 92.7, John and Gordy show. I just love the time.
Oh, thank you.
It cooks.
Recorded that many years ago.
It cooks.
Thank you.
Wow.
Good morning, John.
Catchy tune, too, you know. And just fantastic. Just an incredible job.
Not that
Amazing production.
It's okay. Happy Wednesday.
So modest. you
Good
know.
morning. False modesty. That's what
I know.
7 minutes past the hour. Yeah.
Is it already?
Yeah.
It's,
Time is marching on.
I'd say, just to kind of sum it up, bottom line,
Yep.
it's early in the morning, man.
It is.
Too
Very
early to get up.
Very early. Yes, Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX, John and Gordy for a Wednesday morning, the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, I know. We've got a few Thanksgiving things coming up, as we celebrate this incredibly made-up holiday.
That's what it is. Rise and shine, shake a leg, up and at 'em, top of the morning to you. 33 degrees currently. Hey, yeah. Feels like 28. Partly cloudy today, high near 40. What about Thanksgiving? What's the Thanksgiving forecast? 41 degrees tomorrow with mostly sunny skies.
Well, that's
Beautiful day.
too cold to go up.
Well, it's going to be colder on Friday, just 31 for a high. And it looks good through the Thanksgiving holiday weekend all the way until Sunday, and then we're going to get hit with snow. Just to wrap things up for the 4-day weekend.
I'd say just, stay in for
Stay in.
Thanksgiving. Do not go anyplace.
Go in the bunker.
Cold.
Get it. Get in the highway.
Call your
Down the base.
relatives up. You just can't make it this year.
Cancel things.
Yeah.
Cancel everything. Yep. That's what we advise.
Okay.
Well,
Here we are again.
I've got a lot of streaming services at home, and I'm thinking, I don't remember too many holiday Thanksgiving movies being released. It's not like there are a lot of them out there. So think about it. Think about it. Oh, it sounds like Trump now. Think about it.
the fake Trump or the real
Yeah,
Trump.
with the bowl,
Yeah.
But there really aren't that many Thanksgiving movies, right?
Yeah,
Can you
come
think
to
of
think
one?
of it.
No,
No, not
National
really.
Lampoon's Thanksgiving dinner.
No.
I don't
No,
think there's. Yeah, I can't really think of many. I'm sure if we Googled that, if we had Alexa here standing by to tell us
We
everything,
don't need technology like that. All we do is need people to tell us, message us, call us,
text us.
correct us.
Yeah, the number 608-879-8255, 608-879-TALK. Yeah, I can't think of one Thanksgiving movie off the top of my head.
No.
Thanksgiving TV shows, there are those.
Yes,
We've got one of those standing by that we can go to. Maybe we'll do that in a few minutes or a little while, or maybe we won't get to it. I don't know.
Remember Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
where Paul Simon came out dressed as a turkey?
Was that a Thanksgiving?
That was. It was a Thanksgiving Day show. Maybe we can find that in the archives somewhere.
Well, it's more visual.
It
I mean,
is.
he is standing there in a turkey outfit singing, what was it?
I don't remember. Scarborough Fair or something.
No.
But it wasn't.
It was,
50 ways to leave your lover.
No, close to that.
Okay. Now we got to see. Now we do have to look things up.
Maybe
just throw it out
maybe
there.
Sam could look at Paul Simon Thanksgiving Saturday Night Live and see see what song he did.
Because he was the host of the show that year, and he came out in a turkey suit.
It was one of the great shows, too, because Paul Simon's very dry sense of humor.
Yes.
And it worked so well.
Yes, it did.
So,
remember Paul Simon's Saturday Night Live. Sam was looking at Thanksgiving.
Still crazy after all these years.
Still crazy. Yeah. That was the funny part of it. Still crazy, and he's wearing a turkey outfit.
Right.
We've got it. I've got it right there.
The one super fantastic bit of all time was Paul Simon getting on an elevator, and his song is playing on the elevator as it's going down. And some of the cast members are asking, "Oh, gee, that's a nice song." Well, it was. It's fantastic stuff, in the old days.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I was there. I watched it.
Yeah.
Firsthand, not in repeats.
So you like to watch Saturday Night Live
way back when.
Yeah. That was the only way to do it way back when.
That's
true.
true.
Unless you had a VCR.
Then the VCRs came in, and the industry completely collapsed. Now, they were thinking, TV is dead, movies are dead, people are just going to have VCRs, and they're going to kill us. Never happened. Never quite happened. In fact, it went in the opposite direction. Became a revenue stream for them. So, duh.
So I want to have a little travel update. I came in on the interstate this morning. Travel conditions are good, John.
Excellent. You ran into some difficulty, maybe too much traffic.
Yesterday was crazy on the interstate. Going either direction at about noon yesterday. It was just nuts on the interstate. I call it the Autobahn, Wisconsin Autobahn. Just go as fast as you want, as long as you can, and maybe you'll be okay. There's lots of semi-traffic yesterday.
You got to
for my other part-time, you talk about your part-time job. I have a part-time job. I work for the Aging and Disability Resource Center, otherwise known as ADRC. Right. And I drive elderly patients to their doctor's appointments, that kind of thing, disabled folk. And it's a great gig. I enjoy doing it. I've done it for a number of years. But yesterday, I got to say, it was really very heavy traffic on the interstate. Bumper to bumper, everybody going about 85. That's fun. It's fun, especially when you got,
you really have to blame the Flatlanders for that. They love driving fast down there in the Flatlands.
The Fibs, Illinois.
Yeah.
I used to be one of those.
And the inconvenience of going from Illinois to up north,
Minnesota.
They have to get there as fast as they can. They just do not want to waste any time in Wisconsin. Get to their destination and it's drive as fast as you can. That's what it's all about.
Leadfoot Louie.
That's why we hated them.
Yes.
Right? We hated them.
One
reason their license plates were trying to reveal and tell us who they are.
Yeah.
So, but ever since then, and we used to do radio shows hating them.
Again, I was one of them.
Going down there and visiting and taking the L and just enjoying myself in Chicago.
Yes.
It was just beautiful. I just love Chicago.
Yeah. Well, we went down there one time together with
the Radio Museum.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The Museum of Broadcast.
Yeah, that was great. Did we take the
wives
on
on
that?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. That was back when I was married. The second time, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a fun time.
Let's hear more about that.
I don't think so. Not a good idea.
All right. Well,
I go there.
They have a museum down there with a whole bunch of old microphones and pictures of radio announcers that have long passed.
They did.
The pioneers of radio.
I don't think they have it anymore. I think
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, for years and years that museum was supported with funds and it's nonprofit and all that. I think it went under. Yeah.
I will have to do a little research on that. Now they still have all those cool things. I think they're in storage until they can find another place to set up the museum. But I'm pretty sure it's out of business.
Well, trying to rely on radio people to supply the funding.
That's not
a good idea. Not a highly paid job.
Yeah.
But just as sad as that Went to D.C. on vacation with the kids.
Yeah, I've done that too.
And we went to a place called the Museum.
Oh, I've never been there, but I've heard great things.
And, it's just fantastic. They had, part of the trade tower there. They had the news headlines. They had great comments from some of the great newsmen about, keeping up with the times. And it's just a great idea for the youth of our nation to go through and see how everything kind of turned out the way it did.
Yeah, the journalists.
And I think that went under.
It did, yeah. I went there on a school trip, actually. I got to see it when it was still open. It was very cool.
Wasn't it very cool?
Yeah.
And
well, that's too bad.
I don't know. It was just an incredible disappointment. How could the history of news go out of business?
Yeah, it really is history. That's what it is. History.
That should be nationally funded. Just the importance of it. In D.C. of all places, there should have been some kind of funding to keep that darn thing open. Did you go to the Spy Museum? Did you go to that?
Is that like a part of it?
No, it was down the block someplace. But then, Spy Museum. That was really cool. They had
that open store?
I think you could go through like air ducts and stuff. They had this whole thing set up to make it seem like you're spying and you're finding your way through a building.
Like the Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So it was like that?
It was really cool. I think it's still there. So the thing was, the interesting, bizarre thing was they had T-shirts and hats. And they were exactly like the FBI's clothing. They were blue with these big letters on it and yellow. I don't know how they got away with selling this stuff. But, these are the clothes they wear when they go out. I'm thinking, wow, really? I can buy this and walk around with it? Yeah.
So the Spy Museum is still open, but you're right, the museum is closed.
Yeah.
Wow, permanently closed, it says on their website.
That's not cool.
It's a shame. No, it's awful.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, see, these things happen. Life is full of disappointments.
Get used to it.
So now,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Now,
what are we thankful
I
for?
go cranky again.
We're just here to warm up your Thanksgiving holiday week and get you ready for the disappointment this weekend. When you gather the family together.
Yeah.
You go.
We missed the whole thing about the dynamic of Thanksgiving and getting together with the family, and that is we got to deal with the MAGAs at the table, right?
Oh, that's
the MAGAs at the table. What do you do?
It used to be the Thanksgiving tradition that you would gather the family together and everybody would go around the table. What are you thankful for this year? What are you thankful for?
Yeah.
Can't really do that anymore.
No.
Without a fight breaking out. Because everybody's choosing sides.
That's the worst of it. So we'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be news on that. Video at 10.
Yes.
All right. Mad Radio WMDX 92.7.
I like it when we just ramble for the first 19 minutes.
You know what? That's what I like doing.
Yeah.
Just get it all off your chest.
That's it.
So.
Okay. Yeah, we need to. Now you can you move? Let's move this light over because it's right. It shouldn't be. Let's try this.
Okay. Are we? There we go. I'm kind of in the picture, but almost not.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of off to the.
I'm
pointed a little bit more toward Johnny.
There, kind of half.
Yes.
Here. Now here we go. There it is. I'm in, and I think you are too.
You can read the screen fine. Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yep. There you go.
That's the deal.
See, I want to do themes. I did a scratch and sniff.
You want
Morning-
this? You
morning-
scratch and sniff morning show. What was the scratch and sniff we used to do?
The scratch and sniff show. Well, we acted like we had mailers sent out, and everybody should get their mailers ready to go because we'll have a little sound effect, and when you hear that, you hit the song.
If you look at the flyer, I want to make it look like a grocery John and Gordy, Hullabaloo for a Wednesday morning. Yes.
Does anybody remember Shindig or Hullabaloo?
I do.
Watch the old videos on that. It's crazy, the dancers.
Yes.
I hated the dancers at that time.
But
Now looking back on it, they're like the focus.
It's crazy.
How they do it, what they're doing, and
You can find them on YouTube, I'm sure.
yeah, you can find all that stuff there, and there are videos you can buy.
And it's great. They would have the bands of, the currently top 40 bands get on there and lip sync their music because they couldn't figure out how to do it live anymore.
Some actually went on live.
Some
did.
but not many.
Yeah.
Most of them were lip sync, and then the dancers would come in and, after that song would start, they'd be doing their thing. It was a fun show to watch.
Some of the most embarrassing shows on Hullabaloo and Shindig were appeasements to the parents. They would have some old folky ballad singer, doing a rock song, and it was just really just cringy.
Yeah, creepy kind of. Yeah,
I just couldn't handle it. I really couldn't, but they did that.
Yeah, that was part of our history.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about what happened 60 years ago today, or do you think that's going to bring everybody down?
We brought everybody down so far.
Let's go even farther.
Let's stay there or go lower.
See how deep we can go, because it's only older folks like us that remember that day.
That's true.
Yeah, right?
It's that day in history.
Yeah.
The assassination of John F. Kennedy.
That's it. Do you remember exactly where you were, what you were doing?
I do.
So do I.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 9/11 now, I'm sure.
It's just like that. It's the same kind of trauma.
Yeah. Like what?
Yeah.
The world is going on.
I was in junior high, they called it at the time.
Yeah.
7th grade.
Yeah.
And walking the halls as usual, without a pass.
You skipping class?
No, I tried. I wasn't a great student, but I was drawing comic books at the time with a couple of friends in school. So
cool.
Superhero comic books. Anyway, as I was walking through the hall, all of a sudden, the teachers started pouring out of the classrooms,
Right. Yeah.
and just hitting hallways, and everybody was just in this horrible panic and crying.
Didn't they make an announcement over the PA system? That's what they did at my school.
Yes,
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
But I was listening to a lot of that. I was in the hall, and it was just. It was so traumatic for me once I found out what everybody was reacting to, and it was it was always touted as Camelot, this royalty time in the U.S. where this beautiful couple, Democrats,
JFK and Jackie,
and it was just built up, and we just expected the best, and it all came to a crashing end. It just startling.
Well, yeah, you have to remember those times where this, like you say, this just charismatic figure gets elected president of the United States. You take a tour of the the White House with his First Lady wife Jackie, giving a tour on television live.
And
it had never been done before.
And the cutest thing, they had the kids, the tiny little kids, and they were just gorgeous.
JFK Jr.,
Yeah,
Caroline,
kind of fumbling around, and they were always pointing them in the right direction.
Yeah,
but it was just a magical time.
Yes,
And to see it crash.
I was in 5th grade at elementary school in Indianapolis, Indiana. John Strange Elementary School. That was the name of the school. John Strange Elementary.
Should have been a Dr. Strange.
It was very weird. And our family moved around a lot because we have a band of gypsies, basically moving every couple of years. Moved to Indianapolis. I was the shy kid in the class, back of the class. I didn't know anybody. I just moved there like 6 weeks before that or so. And they made the announcement,
And everybody, they just said, we're sending you home. We're sending you home. The buses are ready.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. Yeah.
And yeah,
Closed it all down.
yeah. And it was just those 4 days afterwards.
Glued to our televisions, just watching this thing.
And this was really the first
Cronkite
live television event like that where they could cover things. I mean, this was just such a huge worldwide event. And then ending with the funeral there with JFK Jr., the little boy saluting the casket as it went by. It was just moments in history within those 4 days. And Lee Harvey Oswald getting shot.
Ruby getting shot.
Ruby, yeah. Well, Ruby did the shooting.
Oh, shooting.
That's right. Yeah. Lee Harvey Oswald was shot. What do we see?
Squad cars driving by very slowly. They can see in here and they're wondering what the hell is going on up there.
Well, thanks for diverting us from the downer that we were already in.
I know. Well,
it's hard to believe it's 60 years ago.
60
That's the
years
other
ago,
thing
yeah.
about it. It's like, how can that possibly be? But
Yeah, I was one at the time.
sure, okay.
Don't want to date myself here, but
Well, you already said you were in junior high, so I think we know how old you were, approximately. I was 10, you were 12.
Why don't you emphasize that?
Why do you have a thing about your age? Why is that?
I don't like to reflect.
What can you do about it?
There's nothing on the radio. I just want people to understand that we're very current. We're customized walkers now, and
well, thank goodness we have Sam Davis, our producer, to keep us in line about what's happening currently. That's the great thing about Sam. He keeps us in line.
He does. Yeah.
I try my best.
Thank you, buddy. You're there for us. We appreciate it. Keeps us going.
You, I have 2 Gen Zers at home.
Yep.
Constantly reminding me of my age.
Oh man, what are you doing? Why are they still at home, John? Why don't you kick them out? They're living in the basement. They're telling you that they need food. They won't cook. They don't clean. They just stay on their computers all day
Well,
long.
that's not exactly true, but some of it is. I just love having them at home.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Really?
Yeah, it's just.
Don't you think it's time they leave the nest at least for a little while?
I think that would be probably healthy for them, but for me, I love having them there.
Okay.
So,
That's good.
yeah.
Glad it's all working out. Well, I hope you and the kids have a happy Thanksgiving.
Well, thank you.
You have the turkey already going?
No.
Ready to go?
No.
You're not doing turkey this year?
We're going to the relative's house.
Oh, that's right. You're traveling up north.
No, we don't go up north anymore, but we are going to Oregon.
Wow.
Just south of Madison.
Okay.
So
It's good. I hope you have a good time.
Well, at least they dropped the long distance charges from our home in Middleton to Oregon, south of Madison. This is just ridiculous.
What do you mean long distance?
No, they really did. When they were landlines.
Oh,
They
charged
charged
us
us
back in the
5
old days.
cents a minute to call down there. And
You still screamed about
we
it.
had TDS telephone at the time, and I just hated them. I just could not stand them. Some places you could call across plains, no charge, But Oregon, 5 cents a minute. And the thing is, my wife's mom lives in Oregon, and they love to just chit chat forever. So it was a sore point for me.
Do you still have a landline? Is that,
No. Oh,
okay. So you're current with the current times.
We all
Have
have
cell
cell
phones
phones now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Time marches on.
But you know what? My kid texts in Canada, and there's a 5-cent charge for those texts.
We'll be back. I missed that last cue. Oh well.
Well, it sounded like we got out on time, right?
Yes, I think we talked right up and past the.
No, we didn't go past. Did we go past?
Yeah, we covered it.
You might have had your last word on.
When that happens again, just pull the mics down. Just fade us out.
Yeah, that's right. We were going to just fade us out, right? Like just rambling on. Right? Ramble on. Ramble on.
Good. Now we've rambled for a half hour.
The WKOW Supreme Court clip. Did you want that queued to a certain time, or what were you
Yeah. 43 seconds in.
43 seconds.
Excellent point, by the way.
What?
On the clip that we're going to play from Channel 27.
Yeah.
Just incredible point. The Republican justices are trying to make a point of, why are you bringing this up now? Because
didn't we just talk about this?
It's a liberal court, and the guy brings up. He says, "Well, when we decided the case originally with you guys,
yeah,
it was decided before anybody even saw the maps."
What?
Before anybody?
How is that even possible?
Before anybody could complain.
That's really the.
Yeah.
What the hell? That's crazy. That's just insane.
I did not know that. This guy's like, that's the news story. They have it. Channel 27's got it.
Good.
And this young reporter, really young, has the story. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Hey, should we do a little piece of the conversation?
Yeah, sure. Whatever you want.
Yeah, I kind of want to do the Supreme Court stuff next hour. So.
Next hour, okay. Long theme, the new one?
The new one, yeah. Yep. Yeah. But when we're in the conversation, then we'll use the short one, the scary one. Yeah. Okay.
At the end of or
well, yeah, that's a good idea too. But after the break, we don't have to hit the intro. Once we do that, then we're in the conversation, and then we'll just use the scary thing, and I'll say we're in the conversation, but scary stuff. So being in the conversation seems like backroom stuff, right? The conversation.
Yes.
Back in the time.
Yeah, sure.
So I don't know. It just seems.
It's good. It's good.
Watch, we'll get a notice, some legal notice saying we can't use it.
I think we're okay.
Okay. But we got to keep our ears open for Republicans saying, we've got to have a conversation. got to have a conversation.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. The interesting thing is Protasewicz did not she didn't say anything.
Well, she's keeping a low profile on all this stuff.
Here, it says right here. This is the whole point right here. This.
Okay.
Fuck, what did I just do?
When are we going to do the turkeys can't fly thing?
Oh, we should do that.
Or do you want to wait? You want to do some
No, let's do
conversating first?
Oh, well, I don't know.
This is a big chunk. I don't know. Do you want to do that?
This is a big chunk.
Yeah.
So let's do the turkey thing from
Oh, you
KRP.
think so? Okay.
First?
I should have worn my KRP shirt.
You should
I
have.
have a T-shirt I got as a gift.
Oh, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's a Thanksgiving movie.
Oh yeah.
Duh. So that we can start with that. And then do KRP, and then we can go heavy.
Sing.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Mouthwash Cola Soda Pop. The all-new soda pop that cleans your breath but it rots your teeth.
I think that's a great product. What are you talking about?
Man,
They're our sponsor.
92.7
WMP.
So does this is the worst thing in the world. And all you have to do is now just rinse your mouth out with it.
Right.
All in one liquid.
They say it cleans toilets, Coca-Cola, right?
Yeah.
So why not use it as a mouthwash? Why not?
Why not
It's a new day and age, folks. All right, good. The phone number. Give the phone number.
Yeah, I
Does
sure.
anybody use that anymore?
I think a few people call us from time to time. 608-879-8255. 608-879-TALK. We got a message during the break.
We asked about Thanksgiving movies or TV shows or something.
How could we not think of this movie?
Yeah, planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yes.
The John Candy vehicle.
Yes. Great movie. Steve Martin, John Candy. When they're in that bed together.
Yeah, that's a memorable scene.
Those are not pillows.
Okay. Yeah, Thanksgiving's, and we were talking about TV shows, right?
Right.
Or Thanksgiving related. How can we forget
WKRP?
No one can forget the WKRP episode where they were giving away turkeys as a station promotion.
Yeah. Let's just play it.
Let's play that.
Helicopter. And it's coming this way.
A helicopter.
It's flying something behind it. I can't quite make it out. It's a large banner. And it says, Happy Thanksgiving. From WKRP. What a sight, ladies and gentlemen. What a sight. The copter seems to be circling the parking area now. I guess it's looking for a place to land. No, something just came out of the back of the helicopter. It's a dark object. Perhaps a skydiver plummeting to the earth from only 2,000 feet into the air. Second to the third. There's no parachutes yet. Those can't be skydivers. I can't tell just yet what they are, but... Oh, my God, they're turkeys! Oh, Johnny, can you get this? Oh, they're crashing to the earth right in front of our eyes! One just went through the windshield of a parked car! Johnny, this is terrible. And others running around pushing each other? Oh, my goodness! Oh, the humanity! Oh, people are running about. The turkeys are hitting the ground like sacks of wet cement!
Oh my God.
Les
Nessman.
I forgot the build-up to it. I forgot his coverage of it. W?
Yeah.
K?
Oh my God.
Good
Yeah,
stuff.
that is really good stuff. Man.
Yeah.
And what was the classic line?
What was it?
On
my honor, I thought the turkeys could fly.
Yeah,
Something like that.
Something
close to it. I'm driving around it. I can't find it.
They should have edited all that together in a clip,
Well,
for radio purposes. A TV show about radio. Why not? So,
did you like the show? Did you watch it? I watched it from time to time.
I love the show.
Johnny Fever.
Johnny Fever was like, well, his the way he delivered his lines on the show, I thought were a little exaggerated. The announcers I listened to never talk like that, but they did in the big cities.
Yeah.
They did. And he is the classic look for a radio.
Yeah, he looked the part.
Yeah, he really did. So,
And Tim Reed.
Yeah.
Tim
Reed. Great.
Wonderful.
Venus Flytrap.
Yes.
What a great name.
Yeah.
And of course, Lonnie Anderson and Jan Smithers.
Yeah. I like Jan Smithers.
Yeah.
I forget her character name. That was
such a great cast. And then the sales guy.
Yeah.
Always dressing in plaid. Everything he wore was plaid.
Yeah, what was his name? Yeah, it was certainly, a very typical salesperson.
That was pretty much right on. Yeah.
But it was a great show. It's still on, by the way. And a lot of these new ad-supported streaming services. It makes my skin crawl.
There we go.
We're going back. We're going back. We had commercial television, and we went to streaming services, no commercials, and now we're going back to streaming commercial television. Help me, please. The nightmare continues.
Just an infinite number of channels.
Yeah. So in order to pay for, I guess, all of the royalties, you have to have commercials, and you can watch a lot of the old shows on those channels.
Yep. That's exactly correct, sir.
So thank you.
You are right.
Yeah.
You skipped cable television in that little lineup of what happened through commercial television and then cable. Remember, cable was coming along. That's going to destroy commercial television. We've got all these cable channels. Everybody started watching those. CNN came on, all these other cable channels. And then that was going to change. And then, and we got into more modern times.
And the cable thing was a huge deal at the time, and Madison had a great cable system. They worked very hard to make sure that the shadows and the static weren't as bad as over-the-air reception. So, oh my God.
That's where we had our cable show at the local cable.
That's right.
Access.
Now, I had one before you came along. I had it was Monday nights with John and Mike. I was the John and Mike. And Mike was a radio announcer in the afternoons at Wisdom way back when. And
what was his last name?
You don't remember.
I remember. No, I remember it now. Dave Mariah.
Oh, Dave Mariah. I remember.
Yeah, Dave Mariah.
Yeah. Why did he call himself Mike?
because
he's anonymous?
Yes, actually, that's true. I wrote the damn show. I produced it. I did everything on it. And all I did was show up and ad-lib and have his one-liners. And that was fine.
Okay.
I didn't mind. Dave and I used to do little bits on the radio.
I see.
I wasn't even an announcer at the time. I was in the production department doing commercials.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was John and Mike.
John
and
and
Mike.
Mike.
Well, I kind of fill that role now, where I come in and do as little as possible. Egg you on to use.
What's that all about? But there was Vernon Evelyn on just after us.
Vernon Evelyn. Now you're really going back. I
remember
Leon
Barjan.
Okay.
Who came up with the
was the Statue of Liberty
on Lake Mendota.
Okay.
And he
still can get postcards, by the way, now.
He had his own TV show, and a very, very funny, clever show.
We've got a caller on the line from Madison right now. Let's go to the phones, and Dick has something to contribute this morning. You're part of the conversation, Dick. What's happening?
How did that get to be 60 years ago? It's kind of scary.
Yeah.
I was in third grade, and we had a really, really young teacher. I believe she was maybe right out of college.
Mm.
And she just freaked.
Yeah. Boy, that's something. Yeah, the John F. Kennedy assassination we're talking here.
Yeah.
60 years ago. And boy, I tell you. Yeah, just it's amazing how beloved, that family was. Just it was devastating to everybody.
So you were in third grade, Dick?
Yep.
Here in Madison, or where?
Yep.
Yeah.
Franklin
School.
Elementary.
So,
and what do you remember? You got a young teacher, and then when the announcement was made, what happened?
Well, they rushed everybody into a room, had some TV set up, and then they sent everybody home. And it was like, I remember it was like raining ever so slightly. And then that night, this stray dog showed up at our house, a big black Labrador.
Mm.
And it kind of freaked us out because my dad was working shift work at the power plant. And this dog, I'll never forget the dog spending the night with us. And then we found the owners. He came back the second time about a month later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's when you fed him too good.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, table scraps. Not a good thing. But what was your reaction to that? You were very young at that time. How did you feel about that?
Well, I
Do you remember
having this thought at that time? Yeah, because my older brother said, "Oh, you're kooky." I said, "Well, it must have been some cowboy that did it because it was in Texas."
Yeah,
cowboy.
Wow.
See? Well, and the reaction, a lot of it, people thought this could be World War III. Remember? We were worried this could be the Russians, and everybody was, it could be a nuclear attack next. We didn't know. Nobody knew.
We're running rampant at the time, so still to this day.
All all the adults just glued to the television the whole weekend.
Yeah.
You know, it's just crazy.
All
All
right.
right,
Dick.
guys. Hey, thanks for giving us your recollection of that. Appreciate it. That's hard to believe, though. It was so long ago, and now we had the 9/11, and
I recently got a
and
book
then
on
Trump.
about a year ago. I got
disaster.
if you were, if you're into the JFK assassination, all the theories that have come out since then, all the books. There is a really good book called Unspeakable. JFK. Unspeakable by James. I think it's Patterson. The name comes to me. Anyway, really excellent book. And came out about eight or 10 years ago, but it's kind of heralded as one of the ones that's probably the pretty much right on.
Yeah.
As far as
actually,
not only what happened, but why it happened.
Right.
That's kind of the theme of that book. Anyway, all right. So
go
ahead. Let's move on. Moving on. Shifting gears.
Maybe we should start a little bit of the conversation.
Conversation don't come easy. Talk. Let's have conversations in the dark. Conversations I can never get enough, so I'm included in the conversation. Hey, a little less conversation, a little more action. In the dangling conversation. COVID conversation.
We're listening to cold beer.
You can use it with cold beer. You got the coffee.
Yes. The conversation.
What's a part of the conversation today, John?
Well, it's Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden. Yeah. This week, videos featuring former Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden, his 2002 missive, the letter to America, hit TikTok, and a lot of people being introduced to this letter for the very first time, even, I guess, to bin Laden for the very first time, were just really upset. And bin Laden, of course, he doesn't necessarily tell the truth in that letter. He uses some kernel of truth in it, and then goes off on a tangent. But I remember those times very vividly. And if you ever want to kind of catch up on it, if you're into that, there's a BBC series, 3 hours, and there's 3 segments, 1 hour segments, and it's called The Vision of Nightmares.
The Vision of Nightmares.
Right. And it's one of the best TV series I've ever seen, documentaries on the whole subject matter of Al-Qaeda, terrorists, how the Muslim world basically did not like the West, but many did. So there was this massive conflict, right? And of course, TikTok and this letter from bin Laden just kind of hit the fan. It says here, Charlie Winter, a specialist in Islamic militant affairs and director of research at the intelligence platform Extract, told the Post, Washington Post, it's not the letter that is going viral, it's a selective reading of parts of the letter that are going viral. It's reactions to the letter that actually went viral and just hit the fan, and everybody's upset about it, and they're just talking about it. It's reactions to it. It's not actually the letter. No one even knows what the letter said. It's a reaction to some people who read it, you know. And then after it was revealed that people were reading it, they took it off the internet.
Wow. And it's now we can talk about it as part of the conversation.
As part of the conversation.
Okay. The conversation will continue in just a minute. Okay, now we've got another 10-minute. So this is just a 1 minute break. So we can pick it up right there. Yeah. Didn't mean to wrap you up. So
No, it was good.
Quickly.
It was good. Yeah.
Oh,
Come on.
Can't we adjust our computers so they just stay on? I mean, mine's got plenty of power. There's a way to adjust it.
I know, it's driving me crazy. What is wrong, you know?
What's next? We have the Bin Laden. You got another chunk of the conversation?
I do.
Is it about Bin Laden, or are we shifting
gears? It's coverage on CNN.
Okay.
Of the Bin Laden thing.
Okay.
So.
Gordy. On this Wednesday morning, we were talking in our conversation about the Bin Laden letter. Let's pick it up right there.
It's an amazing thing. TikTok, you know, it made it happen.
Okay.
And then everybody reacted to the reaction to the letter. This is the real part of it. You know,
okay.
Just a big deal about nothing, right? In a letter of propaganda from leader of Al-Qaeda. And Bin Laden actually wasn't so much a leader of Al-Qaeda, although he was designated the leader of Al-Qaeda by the U.S. because they needed a super villain to fight and go after, just like they did with the Soviet Union. Bin Laden was actually the financier of Al-Qaeda. He paid for a lot of their missions, and he paid for the one, the Twin Towers disaster. He paid for that. He didn't know about it, actually. It happened, and the U.S. blamed him because his name came up in conversation. And so he just thought, why not? You know? Okay. I like the notoriety, and I think I got power if I can take that and ride it.
So he took credit for it, and then you were saying that this the coverage on CNN of this.
Well, let's
take it to another level.
Let's go first to the TikToker who kind of got this thing rolling. Okay.
This letter, but I didn't even know this letter existed. It's wild, and everyone should read it. If you haven't read it yet, read it.
Okay.
So it's like, okay. You do know this is propaganda from a terrorist, right? You know? In the back of your mind. Okay. So then on CNN, I saw analysis of this. Let's play that clip.
We're not going to show the videos of some of the young people who posted this, but we'll read out a little bit of what people were saying in the videos. One person who was a kind of New York-based lifestyle influencer, she said in the video, "If you have read it, let me know if you're going through an existential crisis in this very moment, because in the last 20 minutes, my entire viewpoint on my entire life, I've believed the life I have lived has changed." Another person saying, "If we're going to call Osama bin Laden a terrorist, so is the American government." Bizarre, crazy. I mean, a lot of people sharing this stuff obviously weren't born, weren't alive when 9/11 happened. That's of course not an excuse, but you can just really see there a total disconnect. And of course, you can find critiques of the U.S. government online without resorting to Osama bin Laden and praising or sympathizing with the mastermind of the September 11th attacks.
That's what's so weird. It's just like, have they not read any Chomsky? I mean, there's plenty of leftist critiques of American imperialism and corporatism, I mean, out there without going to a terror.
You heard the guy making an analysis saying that, you know, the mastermind of 9/11, he did not know it. He did not know it was going to happen. He paid for it, but he didn't know. He wasn't keeping track until it all happened, and he was blamed for it. He wrote it. The thing here is, yes, there was a lot of criticism about American imperialism around the world. We have interfered with other countries' leaders. We have put dictators in place because they are easier influenced by, you know, negotiation. You know, we can make a deal with a dictator. We can't do it with somebody who's democratically, you know, elected and isn't going to compromise the country's, you know, power by negotiating with the U.S. and getting favoritism, whatever it is we're negotiating. And there was an interesting book a long time ago And it was a CIA agent who put this book out, former CIA agent, and he was talking about how they would send agents out and take out a leader, actually take them out. And they would do it politically sometimes, but they would do it in a violent way as well. And they called them jackals. And they sent out these people, and these people that would do this were the jackals from the CIA.
Wasn't there a movie like that, The Day of the Jackal?
I don't know. I don't know if that was about that. Maybe. Yeah.
Anyway,
so these kids are they should really look into this. It's not like yes, the U.S. has a history of going out and interfering with other countries' leaders. Yes, it's true. Took a lot of years and created something, some mysticism that now these TikTokers are suddenly believing and changing their worldview. If they just, now what are we doing now? We're cleaning up history. We're sanitizing it. We're taking a lot of this stuff out so we can teach patriotism in the schools. An amazing thing. I got a story on that, by the way. In the conversation, we could get to that. Do we have time for that? No.
Just a couple minutes or so, 3 minutes.
Do we have 3 minutes?
Sure.
No? Yes?
Sam is giving us the big thumbs up, so you go for it.
Here it is. I'm just
part of the conversation.
All right.
Okay.
Texas is at it again. Rejects science textbooks over climate change and evolution lessons. No, this is a current story. They blocked science lessons published by 8 companies from appearing on an influential statewide list of textbook providers, citing problems with the way they depicted climate change and evolution. Publisher Discovery Education discussed how the U.S. isn't energy independent and lags behind other nations in oil reserves. So this industry, the textbooks cast the oil industry in a bad light, which could have a negative repercussion for energy-dependent states. Now, this is criticism now by this board looking at these books. They said there are theories about fossil fuels. There are not agreed upon facts. So they did not like taking a shot at the fossil fuel industry in Texas. And then in the biology textbook from McGraw-Hill, they won approval only after the publisher agreed to remove some graphics depicting human and primate evolution.
Good heavens.
These are just the pictures in the book. Showing the evolution of the primates to humans.
And of course, McGraw-Hill, one of the scholastic books, or one of the books that publishers of school books that has been around for generations, that schools nationwide rely on.
Do you remember intelligent design? It's the science of the Bible. Republicans expressed a desire to depict both the scientific theory of evolution and the Bible story of creation. The chairman of the board reminded Brooks that including creationism to appease religious families could be unconstitutional. You think?
So with all of this going on, all this controversy, is it any wonder that the younger kids are running TikTok?
Stunned by the stuff they find out on TikTok, which they could have learned in school. If we just stuck to history.
The merry-go-round keeps turning.
Thanks for wrapping that up for me. Bottom line, and again, Gordy.
We're going to get some news and an update on weather and sports. We'll be back. I am the bottom liner. Bottom line. Okay. So I've got the, if we want to go into Trumplandia with Morning Joe and the fascist thing, kind of following up on that book I mentioned yesterday. Trump's just laying it all out there. Again, he's putting it all out there.
Yes.
And, and Project 2025 would be perfect with that.
Do you want to play that whole thing, or is there a chunk of it?
We'll have time. This is a big chunk.
It's a big chunk, but I don't know. How long is it? 2.5 minutes?
It's like almost 5 minutes, I think.
Really? What's this about? Project 2025?
Yeah.
What is it? Who is it?
Well, Project 2025 is the plan. Huh?
4.5
No.
minutes.
That's
Okay. That might be good. The thing is, it's the whole thing. It's what the Trump people are putting together once January 2025 rolls in.
Okay, well,
and it's their agenda.
That lines up perfectly with what I.
That's what I'm thinking.
So I could start with this,
Yeah.
then you go into that. Yeah.
Also, keep an eye open.
So morning Joe.
Morning Joe first.
Joe Scarborough talking about Trump fascism.
And then keep your eye open for us when we play that 2025 thing. It's long. That will signal you if you could just pause it. Okay.
In the 2025.
Yeah. Just pause it, and then we'll pick it up again. You know, I want to maybe add commentary inside. So we'll see how that
That'll
works out.
break it up. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll break it up live.
Right.
We'll live on the
That's
edge.
what we do.
We
Catherine loves that, by the way. When we're talking to Sam, hold it right there. Play that cut again. She wants that. She's like, all these other shows are afraid to do that. No, I like hearing that. It takes people behind the scenes.
Well, the thing is, she's used to listening to radio in Chicago.
Yeah.
That always bothered me, you know.
What? Radio in Chicago?
No. It's just that
program directors that were clueless about
radio in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's kind of the Midwest beacon.
I grew up
for
listening to that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And so
Milwaukee's the same.
I thought that would be normal.
Yeah.
And so they never thought of having somebody in the morning not playing music all the time. You know, to think, what world were you guys coming from? You know, God. Yeah, they hated that stuff.
What?
They hated morning radio. That Tom Tuber, you know, getting
Tom Tuber.
Basically. Yeah, boy.
Drugs.
That's what we should be on.
Where are my cough drops? I got them somewhere. What did I do?
Well, there's the deal. Finally, you know.
The bell. Hit it whenever you feel like. Just don't abuse it. Once in a great while, when a great moment comes along. And I know it's far and few and far between, whatever. Well, I know I brought cough drops. What the hell would I do? I didn't get my COVID shot yesterday. I'm like, well, should I do it today? Today I've got time. I'm thinking, should I do it the day before Thanksgiving and risk
feeling bad the next day?
Yeah, but I want to be protected if I'm around people.
I know. I was going to get the flu shot yesterday, and I thought, but what if I feel horrible for the show today? Right? And then, I'm thinking, well, I don't want to feel bad for the, show before the holiday. So, and now I feel like I want to get the flu shot again. I just want to get the flu shot. I just want to get it.
Didn't you have it? You didn't have that. You had the COVID shot.
I did. Didn't you?
Okay. Did you have any reaction on that?
Yeah, a little tired the next day. That's about it. A little sore, but nothing horrible. Nothing like when I got the flu shot and COVID shot.
I like how we can just pause war now. Let's just pause the war. Okay, everybody. Let's pause it. We got to exchange some prisoners.
We got a commercial break.
We got 4 days. Look, 4 days of pause and fighting. 1 day of pause for every 10 hostages. Now look at this. It's just like, here's the formula, everybody. Does everybody agree on this?
That's ridiculous.
How about, can't we just agree to not have a war anymore? How about that? And just exchange everybody, get everybody go back to where, let everybody, all the prisoners, all the hostages, let them all go back where they live. And let's just, find a way to work this thing out. Because we've only been fighting for thousands of years. Caitlin Collins, look at pretty good there. We're in Tel Aviv.
This guy in the Argentina, he wants to get rid of the Argentine dollar and go to the U.S. dollar and Bitcoin.
Well, that's what Trump will do too. Trump will want to get rid of the dollar and put his face on everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a video of him for the first time last night. Like I heard you talking about him, but I didn't realize like how crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy nuts.
Oh, that is wave. He's waving to the people. He waves like this. So something's wrong with his hand.
Yeah, no, like he's waving you away. Go away. He's telling people, go away. Oh. All right.
Okay, I'm going to get into Joe Scarborough.
Right.
Joe, do you ever watch Morning Joe?
I like
Great show.
Sure. I do. I like
Been on the air 15 years now.
I like some of the other people he has on it. The guy, the finance guy.
Danny Deutsch, that guy?
No, not. I like him, but not him. I like his tweets. I can't remember his name now.
Finance guy. Mika. Saturday Night Live has done some things with
Mika?
With Joe and Mika.
Yeah.
She's just. Yes.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's House of Excuses. The next time you need a good excuse for being late to work or forgetting your spouse's birthday, just call the House of Excuses. We guarantee that we'll come up with a good excuse for you on the spot. Our guarantee is simple. If we don't come up with a good excuse for you, we promise to give you a good excuse for not coming up with one.
Excuse this morning. This program
makes perfect sense to me.
Mad Radio 92.7 WMDX.
John and Gordy for this Wednesday morning, 6 minutes past the hour. It's partly cloudy, 33 degrees.
You know, we still have to talk about what's going on with the state Supreme Court.
Yeah, we'll get there.
The attorneys were there yesterday making their case. We have a few clips we're going to play from that, so you got to stick around because this is very, very interesting stuff. There's an angle I never even thought of before, and WKOW Channel 27 came up with it, and we're going to play a clip from that in just a few moments. But first, let's get to something just as important.
Well, that's yesterday we were talking about Jonathan Karl's new book, Tired of Winning. His whole book, where he's talking about Donald Trump and gets inside information and does extensive interviews with Trump about what his plans are if he gets reelected. You know, and that's been all the talk around Washington since this book came out, and now there's more information. And, the Morning Joe folks over at MSNBC, Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough were talking about this yesterday because there was a huge story on the New York Times, the front page. And the title was, the headline was Trump's dire words raise new fears about his authoritarian bent. We'll get to that in a moment. That's the headline they were talking about.
Should we play the cut?
Let me just set it up.
No, I mean for Trump actually, that quick little speech that he made. His plans for the U.S. Do we have that in there? We could just play that before you get to this, because it'll set it up.
Sam doesn't have to set it up. Well, let me continue.
It's okay.
Because in this article, they were talking about what is a fascist. That's sort of the theme of this article.
Finally, right? We're starting to talk about it.
And they gave a number of bullet points about what a fascist actually, and they talked to a researcher about what is fascist.
Right.
Okay. Now let's hear this. This is what Joe Scarborough had to say about this. Go ahead.
I just want to go through again this New York Times article, and let's just go through them because it's time that fascism is called fascism, and Americans know exactly what they're voting for. And I've heard people poo-poo this and go, "Oh, people on the far left." No, I'm a conservative. I'm on the right. There's a difference between conservatism, radicalism, and fascism. This is fascism. This is the Times quotes an expert on the topic. Fascism is generally understood, and this is boilerplate stuff, really, for what fascism is. Fascism is generally understood as an authoritarian, far-right system of government in which hyper-nationalism is a central component. Check. It also features a cult of personality around a strongman leader. Check. The justification of violence or retribution against opponents. Check. And the repeated denigration of the rule of law. Check, said Peter Hayes, a historian who has studied the rise of fascism. Past fascist leaders appealed to a sense of victimhood to justify their actions. Check. We're entitled because we've been robbed. We've been victimized. We've been cheated and robbed. Check, check, check. The whining, the snowflakery coming from the Trump people. I mean, a snowflake falls on their shoulders and they're victimized. They're victimized by history books on Hank Aaron. They're victimized by kids' books on Roberto Clemente. They're victimized by tweets.
Wow.
They're victimized. You name it. They are victimized by everything. They are such weak snowflakes, and they're using that victimization to justify violence against their opponents.
So there you have it.
I love that.
Joe Scarborough, Morning Joe. Yesterday morning.
That's great hearing it from a conservative.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just point blank. That's it. That's what it is. Snowflakes. Everything is offensive to them. Everything is an outrage.
And pretty much detailed every facet of fascism right there.
Right.
Going right down the checklist of Trump and his team and what they're doing now, and making themselves the victims of all these trials that Trump is going through.
Right. I mean, he comes out, he gives speeches promising to change the United States, change what it's all about. We have anything from Trump that brought it from the bat, where he explains himself as the dictator, as the way he wants to change the country. Because do you have something on that, Sam? Anything? Okay.
In our Constitution, we will defend the Second Amendment, and we will proudly uphold the Judeo-Christian values and principles of our nation's founding. We will restore patriotic education to our schools, and we will teach our children to love their country, honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. Always respect our flag. Despite great outside dangers, our biggest threat remains the sick, sinister, and evil people from within our country. You know who I'm talking about. You see them all the time. But no matter how big or powerful the corrupt radical left Democrats that we are fighting against may be, you must never forget, this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you. That's who it belongs to.
I did not know.
This is your home. This is your heritage, and our American liberty is your God-given right.
So, I mean, he lays it right out there.
And the way he's going through this litany of things.
Kind of sing-songy way of talking.
Yeah.
He's got that angle. And only because he's reading most of it.
Yes. We got that clip we played yesterday. What about if Trump was not in that presidential role?
Oh, you're
trying to be a president.
You got a different job?
Yeah. Let's hear that.
Look, I understand what you're saying, but you're not listening to me. This is plywood. You can't return it after you've cut it. It's policy. Everyone agrees, don't they? They say, sir, it's the best policy. Like, we've received no complaints, actually, about our policies. Absolutely no complaints. People come here, they buy the plywood, they cut it, and they love it. They say, this is the best plywood we've ever used. It's true, believe me. I've been dealing with plywood my whole life. I know plywood.
But it splintered when I cut it. You're telling me I can't
Splintered? Impossible. It doesn't splinter. You're probably doing something wrong. Me? If it was me, it would never splinter. It's never splintered when I've used it, actually. It wouldn't splinter if I wanted it to, and you're trying to tell me it's splintered? Well, I've probably cut this same thing 1,000 times, and they all come to me, they say, Donald, how do you cut it so perfect?
Deep fake Donald.
Yeah, deep fake.
We're just a plywood salesman.
We're going to check out deep fakes and play them for
Artificial intelligence.
Actually, they make more sense than much of what he talks about as speeches.
Yeah.
So
I
do wonder how it cuts it. So it doesn't split.
See, it makes you want to go back to woodworking. The basement there. He has that appeal. You know, he can make you believe anything.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That he would be a good leader again, like he was before. That guy just rode the Obama wave, basically. Man, and just talk about it, you know. See, everything is great, everything is fantastic, even though it was a very slow increase in jobs and the economy. They complained about it at the time. It was too slow, but it was slow all the way through the Trump administration. But then, at that time, for some reason, it wasn't as slow, they thought. Maybe this is really fast. If we just say it's fast, yes, it's rising quite quickly. That's because of Trump. Just an amazing thing. And it's marketing. And this guy is one of the great marketers. You know, he can go out and just talk up anything.
Absolutely.
That's how we got a steak, a college.
Now, do we have time to switch gears here and talk about what's going on in our own backyard here, just up the street, a block away in the Capitol?
Supreme Court.
Do we have time to get into this?
I
got about 3 minutes here.
Do we?
We got to get started.
I think we could. Yeah, we could start out this. Why don't we? Let's go to this. You know,
deep breath.
Rebecca Bradley, Justice Rebecca Bradley is the worst justice ever. And she's going to be up for re-election in a couple of years.
Now, why do you say that?
She is, well, she was revealed to hate liberals and Democrats. She didn't like gay people at all. And these were all writings that she had done in college. Now, of course, you know, everybody at the time, the Republicans always say, well, that was way back when, you know, people change. That means nothing nowadays, you know. But, you know, it certainly does apply to everyone who might be on the liberal side, more liberal side. You know, they always truly believe all this stuff forever, no matter what they said, even when they were 7 years old. So anyway, Rebecca Bradley is just probably the absolute worst ever. But one of the things you'll notice about this whole thing, and I'm looking at forest with the trees here, you kind of look at the big picture about what's going on at the Capitol in regards to arguing for redistricting in front of the Supreme Court. The redistricting thing is really all about a bad decision back in 2011.
Okay.
Well, when they did the redistricting, they made a bad decision back then. And they made it very partisan, one of the most partisan redistricting maps ever. And it went to the Supreme Court for that. So when they said, oh, let's go with keep it the same, you know, little change, then that meant those cemented maps, very partisan maps, were in place. And then the Republicans could add on to the partisan maps already, and then that went to the Supreme Court. They rejected it. They came back here. They rewrote it, and then they accepted the maps as even more partisan than they were back in the Walker years.
But yesterday they started here again.
They had hearings on this, and one of the funniest moments I think was Rick Essenberg, one of the biggest BSers ever, Attorney Rick Essenberg. He leads up the conservative Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty. He said, it's remarkable to see a matter, a particular case or controversy, fully litigated before this court, and then an attempt made to effectively reopen it a year later after a change in the composition of the court. So their argument, by the way, we're going to get into this, the argument is that why are you relitigating this? Is it because the court is now more liberal? Well, we'll find out. It's not that.
We'll be back in 60 seconds.
We'll be right back to the action right after this message.
So
You know what bothers me about this is that the conservatives on the court are making an argument saying, why are you coming here? It's because it's the liberal court now. And I'm thinking, but isn't that what you guys did in the federal court?
But
you bring up all these new cases
but it has to be settled by January, or they're not going to settle it, and then it'll be the same.
Yeah. Well,
or they do decide to make changes, so they have the new maps in time for the election for the petitioners to go out who are going to run for whatever office they're going to run for. They have to settle that. So are the Republican Supreme Court members going to just drag their feet through this thing and say, well, why should we do that? Just make excuses.
They're doing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're arguing for that.
So we're going to play that cut from the Young 27 report.
Yep.
Off of WKOW?
Yeah.
I have that other one, right? I have that other cut here too. The one that I brought in today.
Looking good for Turkey Day tomorrow, 41 degrees for Thanksgiving Day, and highs tomorrow right around 40 degrees or so. John?
One of the interesting things about this argument about redistricting in the state Supreme Court is that this has been a thing the Republican Party in our state legislature, it is what they have been exploiting for the last 12 years or so. They have used Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty as a way of legislating from the Supreme Court bench. They have allowed all of these controversies to go through the legal system instead of through the legislature. And that's been their plan. And it's something that I think we all should be aware of, that it's not so much the politicians, because now we're finding out that the Republicans can't govern for some reason. They just cannot do it. They have an agenda. They stick to that, and that doesn't allow for too much governing. So what they've allowed is going through the courts, and that is happening on the federal level, the federal Supreme Court. That's taking place there. As you noticed, almost all the cases that are stare decisis have been decided. It's just the way it is. Roe v. Wade. Well, they're relitigating all this stuff. They're bringing all of this stuff back. Gun laws. They're trying to get rid of the gun laws by bringing all of this stuff back to a now very, very conservative Supreme Court of our land. So they're actually trying to overturn all of the things that have happened before by relitigating it currently, because this court, they know what the result is going to be. So that now is happening here at the Capitol, because now it's a liberal court. So now the conservatives on the court are very angry that, well, geez, you're doing what we're doing. We don't like that. You're going to relitigate all this stuff and overturn everything that we deliberately tried to accomplish through our legislative bench. We're doing the work of the legislature because they can't do it.
Mm-hmm. And what makes this really important is, 2024 being a presidential election year, all this stuff is being litigated. They've got to decide something by the end of January as far as Wisconsin maps. To either change them or to update them or to leave them as they are, because Wisconsin's a swing state, so whatever they decide, it's probably going to end up going up in front of the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So you have some quotes here about what was the young reporter that you mentioned?
You have I have Channel 12 from Milwaukee.
Okay.
When we get to that clip, kind of explains a lot of that. So go ahead.
This is not good governing.
Tonight, high stakes.
We need fair elections.
Just outside the state Supreme Court, an overflow crowd watching every move.
Now, we finally have our day in court.
as inside the state's high court.
Let me ask you a question.
I'm not done.
I just want to.
I'm not done with my questioning.
High drama between the court's conservative justices and new liberal majority, being asked to declare the state's legislative maps unconstitutional ahead of the 2024 elections, maps that currently favor Republicans.
Everybody knows that the reason we're here is because there was a change in the membership of the court.
The lawsuit brought by liberal groups filed just days after Justice Janet Protasiewicz was sworn in, flipping the court's balance and calling the maps rigged during the campaign.
In a situation where the governor and the legislature are at an impasse in the redistricting process and they come to this court, what rule should we apply?
Attorneys fielding a barrage of questions.
How many Republicans are enough? When have we gone too far?
Liberal justices perhaps hinting at the eventual outcome.
Do you have a name of a map drawer?
Which in part would draw entirely new maps and force every member of the state legislature to face re-election next year.
I can't imagine something less democratic than unseating most of the legislature that was duly elected.
The question now tonight is timing, how fast the court will act and what decision it will make, with potential high-stakes implications for candidates and potentially every member and every lawmaker inside this building. At the Capitol, I'm Matt Smith, WISN 12 News.
The Wisconsin Elections Commission has said if the court redraws new maps ahead of next year's elections, they must be in place by March 15th.
There you go. So, that's what's going on there. Little argument between Bradleys, Justice Bradley, Republican and liberal. You can see that there's going to be a huge problem with this because their argument is just simply, well, you're just relitigating it because it's a liberal court. Sorry. I guess you're kind of doing that on a national level. Get used to it. They just don't like to play by their own rules anymore. And one of the interesting angles that I had not thought of myself, and this appeared last night on Channel 27 WKOW. You got to check this out. This is just wonderful stuff.
Chief Justice Annette Ziegler and Justice Rebecca Bradley questioning Democrats on why they did not bring their concerns forward 2 years ago when the court adopted new maps in its Johnson versus the Wisconsin Elections Commission decision.
Court's September 24th, 2021 order that granted the Johnson original action petition set an October 6th deadline for intervention in that case. That was well before the legislature introduced publicly its map. It was well before any party in the Johnson case submitted their map proposals, and it was months before this court ordered the legislature's map into place. There was no possible way the Clark petitioners could have known what their legal claims were.
That's right.
Democratic attorney Mark Gaber called the maps unconstitutional and partisan, stating Wisconsin's electoral districts were not an accurate representation of the voters living in them. Counsel for Wisconsin's Republican-led legislature, Taylor Meehan, argued all the state's districts were contiguous or adjacent, and the state's remaining 66 districts, known as municipal islands with fewer than 10 people, were not grounds for a statewide redraw.
Just amazing. We can stop it there. So you heard that the decision by the Supreme Court back then, a couple of years ago, was made before anybody even knew what the maps looked like.
So they didn't have the maps, but they made a decision anyway?
Yes.
That seems counterintuitive.
That is just insane. And they have used the courts, the Supreme Court, to make all these legislative decisions for the legislature. And this is one example. I didn't even know this. And when I saw this clip, it just opened my eyes to the whole scam, basically. And obviously, it was a predetermined outcome. That's what the Supreme Court did. They knew what they wanted, and they got it. And it was just all the Republican justices voted one way, and the liberals on the other way. Gee, I wonder why, It truly is stunning stuff. Now, Rebecca Dallett, Justice Rebecca Dallett said this: we have plenty of situations where we have not had something challenged as unconstitutional, and then it is. One that comes to mind is the Dobbs case, most recently, which resulted in the Supreme Court reversing Roe v. Wade. But there's plenty of other examples. So why is the fact that no one challenged something as unconstitutional mean that somehow it's now constitutional? Good argument.
Great argument. 29 past the hour.
We're going to break for news and a weather update, and we'll be back with the John and Gordy Show. Yes.
Let the sun shine. It's the John and Gordy Show.
That is, isn't that just amazing?
That's
thing?
Mind-boggling.
How could that have slipped by?
That's the question.
Oh, God. One other thing, Mr. Arrogant, the big BSer that the Rick Essenberg.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring it in. I heard it when I was, I told you I was watching it. I heard it.
Yeah.
He said people expect that when the Supreme Court makes a decision, that's the final decision.
Right.
They expect
that's what they expect.
And one of the justices said, where is that in the Constitution? He started scrambling. Well, what? People just, expect something like that. He is such a BS. By the way, I'm going to tell that story. What's our next thing? We have something?
Not really. I mean, I got nothing.
All right. I'm going to go on a rant about high-speed internet.
Okay, should we spin the wheel and have it land on the internet?
Yes. Do you have that?
People are saying the weather, the news wheel is fixed.
Oh, we never got to that Project 25 thing.
Where's the internet? Media? Did I take the internet off of here? I guess I've got media. That's close enough.
Which is, that's it. Close enough. Oh, yeah. Boy. Yeah, I didn't know what to type on this because there wasn't a lot of stuff on it.
What do you think gas is going for in Wisconsin? What have we seen here the last couple of days? 285?
285, something like that.
Really? That cheap?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen something.
Cheapest I've seen like this
Maybe
month is $2.95.
Well, if you become a member at Costco, which everybody has to, I mean,
Never been to a
you have to filter through the commercial thing. But they have incredibly low prices at the pump there.
Yeah.
So.
No, it used to be a joke among me and my friends that I didn't believe in Costco because I had never actually seen them before. That's an IKEA. I've still never actually seen an IKEA.
It's a very liberal company.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like Quick Trip is very conservative.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
They signed up what's his name? Ronkowski? Who's the football guy?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not into the football stuff.
The goofy guy that he was with Brady in New England, then he went down to Miami with Brady.
Yeah.
Ronkowski?
Ronkowski or something?
I don't know.
They have
he's a spokesperson for Quick Trip.
Well, look,
along with Charlie Barron.
Liberals hate Quick Trip. They will never. They're boycotting it. They won't go there. But personally, I think it's probably one of the best run.
It's a good gas station.
I go there all the time.
This is the first I'm hearing of the politics behind it.
It's the cleanest, nicest, the food.
They got it together.
Prices. I mean, seriously, it is one of the best run companies I've seen, right? I mean, Home Depot, incredibly good company, except it's very conservative. Menards, very conservative.
Right.
Guys like dumping, waste in the woods up north. Places. Yeah, he got fined.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, and then Culver's, very conservative. So you got all these really good companies that are super conservative.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they all got a lot of money.
And yet, I go to those companies. Where do you go for home goods?
Where else you go?
Home stuff you can't. Okay, I can do the fiber optic
Thanksgiving. I'm going to hit a little Thanksgiving stuff coming out of the break.
Oh, yeah. We have Thanksgiving.
I'm just going to recap like AAA shit, the price of gas, how many people are traveling.
All right, let me
go through my little report about the interstate.
Well, let's do the fiber optic thing.
Wisconsin did yesterday and have people call in with their favorite Thanksgiving food, or if they hate something, call in
Who did that?
Another show, Ask Us Wisconsin.
Kristen Bry. Is that how you pronounce her?
Yeah, she hasn't been hosting because she's on maternity leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish I could go on maternity.
Her replacement's good.
Oh, here we go. You got the gobble gobble. Gobble gobble.
Johnny Gordy, oh Johnny
Since under 34. Maybe it's because we're looking forward to a 4-day holiday weekend, you know?
Yeah. Then we can get back in sync again. That's right.
Yeah.
We're clashing a lot here.
Thanksgiving is upon us. Almost, John.
Almost there.
A report from my personal life. Yesterday I was on the interstate, as I call it, the Wisconsin Autobahn. You could go as fast as you want, anytime you want. Just look out for the semis because they're going even faster.
You're complaining about driving quickly?
Not complaining at all.
I think that's a
Kind of
plus.
fun.
Yeah,
Kind of fun.
It is.
But yesterday, boy, around noontime, it was like, it was crazy. I mean, I couldn't believe how much traffic was on the interstate, going both directions yesterday afternoon. And, you know, AAA reports projects that 1.1 million Wisconsinites will travel 50 miles or more during the Thanksgiving holiday period. And also, more Thanksgiving travelers will travel to their destinations I just said that. It's a recap of the same fact, just said it a different way. Hang on a second.
Well, if you could say it a different way, you know, there are people out there who missed it the first.
You're right. You're right.
Okay.
Price of gas in Wisconsin?
Yes.
I've seen it about 289, 285, something like that. Yeah, so that's good.
It's real good.
Nationwide.
Thank you, Joe Biden.
Thank you, President Biden, for adjusting the gas
Bidenomics
prices.
that did it.
Sure.
All right, just want to make sure everybody knows, you know, check out on that column.
Check. 3 million Americans will be flying in airplanes.
Wow, okay, flying. Yeah.
Qualify that. They're not going to flap their wings and fly.
Flying
Taking
Transatlantic Airways, you know.
3 million.
They're doing LSD and they're flying.
3 million people flying here and there across the U.S.
Okay.
And more useless statistics. Anyway, you know, be careful out there. Drive, you know, be aware of the people around you. Try to use your turn signals. Slow down. Okay.
And check your windshield
wipers because we're expecting snow by Sunday. So get those wipers. Check your oil, your air pressure in your tires. That's an important thing too. Make sure your tires are properly inflated.
Hey, you don't mind if I get on a rant here and get really angry?
Because that's what we do. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, I said something, you know, that riles me up quite a bit. It's high-speed internet throughout Wisconsin. Right? You know, I mean, it's like the electrification process. You know, we had to have electricity going to every corner of the United States. It seems like a good idea, but, you know, there was a party that was very apprehensive. I don't know, you know.
About electricity?
Yeah, wait for the free market to take care of that one. And Eisenhower came in and said, no, we're going to do it. Anyway, here.
Eisenhower. Well, he did the roads. He came in with the interstate.
Here's what I'm really angry about today.
Tell us.
It is high-speed internet.
Yeah.
Going through this wonderful, great state of ours. This is a very, very rural-friendly thing to do because that's where the internet really lags badly. I mean, in cities, some cities have lag, bad systems, but
way out in the rural
areas, they're laying down this fiber optic. And in the continued effort to bring high-speed internet to rural Wisconsin, the Public Service Commission said it's received 124 grant applications to get that high-speed internet out there, requesting more than $221 million in funding. That's what it takes for just to request it.
Okay.
Areas that want high-speed internet, okay? But the state only has, get this, $42 million. So the request amount to $221 million for funding high-speed internet in their areas, but instead the state only has $42 million available. Again, we have $4 billion in surplus in the state. And by the way, if you spend any of that $4 billion for internet, it's a one-time expense. It doesn't repeat itself. You bring internet to these places, and then they have it. Yep. And that's it. One time. If we have this surplus one time, let's spend this money on trying to get internet to every corner of this state.
It makes perfect sense to me. I think there's even more federal money that's just sitting there waiting to be used.
That's coming in. Yeah, the PSC has already poured hundreds of millions of dollars into broadband in rural areas. Much of the money has come from federal programs, and more is on the way in the next few years. Thank you, Joe Bidenomics. This is job-killing crime by the gerrymandered Republicans that we have. They refuse to fund this. They refuse to even take it seriously. There are more than 251,000 locations in the state that still lack service. Okay. Just think, wrap your head around it.
Wait a minute, say that again.
251,000 locations in the state that lack service. And that's like the FCC.
Yeah.
Another 211,000 locations have service that's considered inadequate by current standards. So we got a lot of catching up to do, and we've got $4 billion in surplus, and Evers just rejected their attempt to have another tax cut where the money paid by wealthy people get returned back to them. Okay, so anyway. The $42 million will come from the American Rescue Plan, another federal dollar program. So there you go. That's all that's available right now for laying out this fiber optic internet, throughout our state. Keep in mind, the Republicans want to amend the state constitution to take federal emergency dollars away from the governor to distribute. So they can. So imagine if that this amendment that the public will be presented with in a referendum passes, the governor won't be able to spend the money like he did during the COVID disaster. So they will have that money, and they'll put strings on it. They're going to say, well, get rid of DEI, and we'll give you the money to help you survive COVID,
Strings attached.
Yeah, always.
Well, and like you mentioned right at the top of this, once you get this done, it's done. Once you get the fiber optic cable all connected all across the state, then we're ready to go. I mean, imagine back in the, when did they electrify the country? In the 1890s or something, 1880s? Electricity. Well, they had telegraphs back then.
The 1930s, I think.
Okay, well, to the rural.
I don't know.
Sam, you know?
I mean, it was a big thing during the New Deal, so the 1930s.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Even that's amazing that it had to take that long.
Yeah, they were waiting for the free market to do it, and it didn't happen. They couldn't afford it. So,
but guess what? Once it happened, everybody had electricity, and we didn't have to worry about it anymore.
It was a no-brainer. It seemed like a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
So having internet. To think of all the small businesses that could happen, could be created with high-speed internet in the rural areas, in the small communities that depend on, maybe there isn't a lot of foot traffic in the smaller towns, the smaller squares, like Baraboo. But if those businesses that, the people that have those businesses in the small towns can be on the internet and sell their wares there, think of the success of these businesses at that point.
And not only that, but the schools getting internet service and therefore, being able to have more computers. I mean, out in the sticks, that's still a new thing. Get everybody having computers available to them in the classroom.
We've heard families go to like fast food restaurants or coffee shops to have their kids do the homework because they got internet there. So this is very sad. And of course, the Republicans for a long time at the Capitol wanted to prevent communities from having their own community internet services. They
Yeah,
didn't
no,
like
they
that.
didn't want that.
No.
The free market.
See, the free market was very threatened by local communities having their own cable services. And the Republicans wanted to keep that going. And that's changed. There are small communities that have their own internet. So anyway, it's one of those things that this seems like just an absolute no-brainer.
Exactly.
And it's totally tinted with politics.
Should have been taken care of years ago.
And, speaking of that, I haven't mentioned this at all.
Okay, well, good.
We've been here for a long time.
Right?
Okay. I just want to let people know that I am apolitical. I really sound liberal as heck, but I'm just looking at what's better for American society. What can make us progress? How can we make things better? And how can we save a whole heck of a lot of money doing that? And one of the great examples, I think, is universal health care. If the Democrats ever passed universal health care, the entire country would know how bad the Republican Party is in saving them money. This would save people dramatic amounts of money. And we'll get into that later, but I just want to let you know that my politics is basically how can we save people money? What kind of programs can we have in place to do that? And what's best for society and serving the American public? We all pay taxes, all of us, whether we make a lot of money or not. And we're putting into that system. And if we don't get anything out of it, and by the way, the Republicans at the Capitol say, well, that's just spending money. Well, it's our money. We put it there so you can spend it, on the stuff that helps us. And they make spending sound bad, but tax cuts good, which only go to the upper 20%. So we really have to kind of adjust our thinking on this. What's best for us? We pay taxes. Let's pay for something that helps us.
And as we've been saying, one of the things that we go through all the time now is we can't agree on anything because there's such a huge political divide between the far left and the far right. You just can't seem to come to terms on things that would help everybody. And of course, everybody's gearing up for Thanksgiving holidays, and now we got to get the family together. And who's going to be talking about politics around the Thanksgiving table? Do you just avoid it completely, or do you let it all go?
Just tell them where to go.
Let it rip.
Leave it.
A big food fight at the end of the day.
And eat at another
Throwing
location.
turkey drumsticks across the table and throwing cranberry sauce at your aunt. That's what it's come to.
Well, I think we talked about this the other day, and that is that, these silly surveys where they ask the question, are you better off now under Biden? And you're just, you're really influenced by your state government, what they're doing to you. How they're not helping you. It's not Bidenomics. It's not Biden. It's not you don't feel like you're better off because of Joe Biden. It's because of the state you're living in that is making your life situation precarious, paycheck to paycheck. It's not Biden. My God. And then of course, we have the free market, which, found out that after COVID, they could really make a lot of profit by jacking prices up. And they did. And they made record profits. And we're blaming Biden for that. For them being what? Greedy? It's just, there's a lot of illogic going on here. And you really have to just kind of think it through. Like Trump says, think about it. If you think about it,
we're just getting warmed up. 2024 just around the corner. Political year. It's just going to get more and more crazy and more intense over the next year.
Well, we'll try to, we'll try to keep a level head here. And we'll try to, hold your hand and make sure that everybody is, feeling, kumbaya.
That's it. That's what we're here for. To hold your hand. Sing happy songs. That's a good. Hey, that'd be a great title for a song, wouldn't it? Okay.
Oh, there it is. Gordy's town, Baraboo, a city of 12,000, doesn't have fiber.
That's
right. Why is that?
Well, part of it does, but yeah, most of it doesn't. Yeah, they're working on it.
And that's the whole thing.
Yeah. Not everybody has it. Only a few.
It's very sad.
7:48. We'll be back with more of the John and Gordy Show after these messages.
Thank you, Doug.
Yeah.
and he worked at Wisconsin Eye.
Mhm.
Hated it because they were doing all the and it's they're different contributors to it to keep it going. One of them's really conservative. There's different people that. Well, Tommy Thompson came up with it. Maybe he was telling me that.
Wisconsin Eye is something that the Republicans didn't want.
Yeah.
And then
But Tommy Thompson was a proponent of it.
Yeah, and then when they put it in place, they made it a pay thing.
Yeah.
You had to pay to see it. And then you could, steal stuff from it. People were stealing stuff from it, getting it and, rerunning it. It was like we couldn't rerun the state government video.
They're representing.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Because they owned it. Wisconsin Eye owned that right to the videos.
Okay, what are we going to let's find out what everybody's going to do for Thanksgiving in their personal lives here. The last 9 minutes of the show.
At the end of this,
Yeah, what do we got?
the weekend. Do you want me to play the weekend?
Yeah.
Intro?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
It's going to be a beautiful day. Partly cloudy skies. Right now, 33, expecting a high about 40.
You drink your coffee from a coconut.
Coconut coffee?
Oh,
what are you talking about?
Yeah. I just think, I'm just helping other coffee shops out there right now. Think about this, okay? We need tiki coffee shops in this town.
What are you talking about?
There used to be tiki lounges, the South Sea Island feel. We need that kind of coffee shop in Madison. We just have to have tiki coffee shops. I would have thought that would have been a big hit. You get away from it all. It's like, going to the beach and having coffee.
We should think about it. Maybe you and I ought to start a coffee shop somewhere. Right around the corner.
There was a whole bunch of empty shops right here in State Street.
Uncle Todd used to run a coffee shop.
Todd Alma?
Yeah.
No, around here? Really? Was it here?
I'm not sure. I forget where. I know he did, though.
Well, I didn't mention
We'll get together with Todd. Sure.
We'll have some Todd talk. Talking with Todd. Here's Todd. Todd, why don't you talk to us? Talking coffee. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Tiki coffee shop.
Yeah, Todd has a special guest every once in a while from Cracked Magazine.
Yeah. It's great stuff.
And Crack Magazine, I mean, for ages, that thing has been around for ages. It tried to compete with Mad Magazine.
Couldn't do that.
Quite as successful, but it maintained, it kept going. And now they do like long lists that Todd always features on the show. Top 50 best performances by so-and-so.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Best cartoons. Saturday morning cartoons. They do lists like that. It's kind of interesting stuff, though.
I think so. What Sam, you were going to do something with the weekend. What was that? What were you going to play there? Is that at the end of the show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. We've got something special for us.
Really?
Yeah, we're
coming down.
Yeah, we only have a few minutes left.
Oh,
what are you going to do for Thanksgiving, John? Are you going to get the family together? Living room there in your 4 huge recliner chairs. Watch a planes, trains, and automobiles.
That would be a great idea. One great use for our theater seats.
Yeah.
We bought them at a place called Theater Seats. So it's a great place.
Gigantic. I've never seen recliners as big as these.
Yeah. Well, the kids didn't like getting rid of the big leather sectional that we had, but it was falling apart, sinking in, stuff like that. So.
Sam, what do you have planned for Thanksgiving? You gonna go hunting some more?
Probably not. My mom's family is huge, so we're having a gathering at my aunt's house, and she lives right in town, which is nice. So I don't have to travel far. Yeah, and then gonna hang with my girlfriend's family on the weekend a little bit.
Nice.
What am I doing? Yeah. Thanks for asking, guys. I don't care. Me? Oh, okay. Thanks for asking. Yeah, Thanksgiving. Well, I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything from my sister. Usually she puts together a Thanksgiving thing, but I think she was on the fence this year because some of the people couldn't make it. Some of the family members couldn't make it. I always look forward to it. It's a nice gathering. She's got a nice place. Cooks great food.
Real nice place.
But there, I think there's some political discussions that she's worried that will take place if we get everybody together. It happens from time to time. People express their opinions, and then there's some hurt feelings, and people stomping off. It's happened. I don't know. But then I got some therapy, maybe. But then I got an invite, sort of out of the blue, from somebody. I mean, there's a family that I know, just one or two people.
Are you coming over to watch movies with us? Is that
you didn't know that?
No,
you don't know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, invited me over.
I had no idea that guy was.
No, this is somebody else. But so I think I'm going to that. So we'll see.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds like a real definite play.
It's kind of up in the air, but
it sounds like
they got back to me yesterday. You're coming, right? I'm like, I didn't even know for sure you were actually doing this.
You are setting yourself up for another major disappointment if this doesn't happen.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. They say, yeah, we're counting on you. If you're not coming, boy, people will be angry.
I have a
threatening some sort of lawsuit against if I didn't show up now. I don't even know these.
Good long story. Good luck.
Here's another idea. Doug texts in again. Because of the music that we played coming in, he says, when are John and Gordy going to offer a tropical cruise? Could go on a tropical cruise.
That would be great, right? I mean, we play the surf music, we play the Hawaiian music now. Just
have you ever been on a
cruise?
A little bit. You ever been on a cruise?
I have never done a cruise.
Me either. How about you, Sam? You ever been on a cruise?
I have not.
Let's figure this out. Let's get a travel company and start signing people up and go somewhere. Do a little
cruise. It seems crazy though. I never could understand them because you're doing a lot of stuff on this big boat.
Yeah, you're stuck on a boat.
Well, you're not stuck.
Yeah, you are.
Well, you're stuck kind of, but they have stops that you go out on shore and you spend money at the tourist traps and don't really see what's going on wherever you're going.
I've always been a little hesitant to get on a cruise, but I think I might get see. It's just like. What if you don't like it? What's that?
I'd like a Titanic.
It's really just a giant floating toilet bowl when you think about it. There's a lot of food on there, germs. What do they do with all that?
There was an announcer in town, Dave Anthony, used to do afternoons at WIB.
I remember Dave.
Yeah.
Where is he now?
The thing is that he, before he became the announcer in the afternoons, he was entertainer. He was the MC on one of these cruises. Dave Anthony was the MC. And then when they fired him.
What happens?
He went back. To being
cruise
MC guy.
Well, they have a lot of entertainment. You have music, dancing, magicians running around, doing card tricks at the tables.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. So much fun.
Something we could do.
My goodness, you never see that anymore.
We could get all of our listeners together, go on a little cruise.
I think that'd be a good idea, though.
I'll have to work on that for 2024. I think so. That's a good idea.
That's a 2025 plan.
Okay.
When Trump comes in, everything is going to be much better.
Okay. Well, we hope you have a great Thanksgiving Day, holiday weekend, and we'll be back Monday with a new show. We've got some best of shows coming.
So have a very happy holiday.
Just stay tuned to this station for weekend outdoor information.
I like it.
It's actually supposed to be a weather thing. I should have.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what.
It kind of is, but like.
There's another weekend jingle that I guess I didn't send you, or I sent it really early on.
It's the same thing, although it's
a donut. Yeah, it's all weather.